Nick Hajazi, the founder of the Menddees Cartel, the Natty King, the last true Natty Crusader, the one true heir to O'Hearn's Natty throne, and the president of the Natty Republic, El Presidente. Oh, sweet baby mama, I'm here with thee.
The co-founder, boys, another week.
It's time for rest day Q&As. I'm here with the co-founder. Let's get down to business. Let's get cracking. Let's get down to work. All right. Gentlemen, before we get into the rest day Q&As, you know the drill. If you want to get in the greatest natural shape of your life, join my online community, the Menddees Cartel. You have full access to all of my training and nutrition plans, as well as 24/7 support from me via the community feed and Zoom calls. Link in the description. Join my online community, the Menddees Cartel, now. And if you're interested to go an even further step than just being in the community, go to my Instagram, link in the description, and DM me the word cartel for full-on one-to-one coaching. All right, chaps, let's get started. The first question is from Daniel Clark. 2916. What do you think of body leverages, and do you build your strength testing around them? For example, my body structure provides a strong posterior chain, making my low bar great, but I train high bar for better anterior development. Yeah, bro, pretty much to answer your question, listen, everyone genetically has different leverages. Some people are better built for low bar, some people are better built for high bar, some people are better built for certain types of movements genetically, especially the squat. The squat is very genetic. If you look at a lot of the elite Chinese weightlifters, they're genetically gifted to squat. They can get very low very easy. If you're someone with long femurs and of Anglo-Saxon descent, most likely you're not a great squatter. Most likely it's going to be very, very, very hard for you to get deep and achieve the same depth as the Chinese weightlifters that have tiny little short femurs. So yes, genetics play a big part in the types of lifts you do, in the types of movements you do. But just because you have long femurs doesn't mean you can't high bar squat. And just because genetically your leverages aren't built for a certain lift doesn't mean you can't do that lift. You should do both. I'm a believer of do both. Even if your leverages aren't built for a high bar squat, still high bar squat. You might not be able to get as deep as other people, but still high bar squat because you want that quad anterior development. And if you want to,
I think that's also an excuse about that maybe you just haven't found the right stance for you. You know, like if you have long femurs and you cannot do high bar low, really low, it's because maybe you just haven't found your form yet. You know, it takes a while. Like we have, for example, Lucas, George, and John.
Yeah,
like a hard way forward to improve their form, and you can 100% do it.
Yeah, 100%. It is an excuse sometimes. Just because you have bad leverages doesn't mean you can't squat a certain way. But yes, high bar squat, do both. High bar squat for the anterior quad development, low bar for more of that posterior chain, hamstring, and glute development. Do both, bro. Do both. I'm a firm believer in doing both. All right, next question is from London 2N55. Hi, brother. Love the content. Looking to change my split from PPL, but doing his on push and tries on pull. Doing buys on push and tries on pull. What do you recommend? Seeing you've been using a bro split for a while, would you say it's the best split? Been lifting for a year and a bit. Only asking because I keep seeing all these science-based lifters talking about full body and upper, lower, and all this. Hope you see this. Appreciate the question, bro. Ultimately, bro, split does not matter. Intensity matters. You could do any split on earth. Push-pull legs with triceps on pull and biceps on push. You could do a normal push-pull with tries on push and biceps on pull. You could do any split, upper, lower, bro split. Bro split's my favorite split. The greatest natty of all time, Mike O'Hearn, does a bro split. I follow his philosophy. The reason I love the bro split is because you got to focus on a singular muscle, completely kill that muscle, and then move on to the next exercise. And then move on. Then forget about it for a week and move on to the next muscle. That's the beauty of a bro split. But every split works, bro. Intensity is what matters. You could do any split. You could do upper body every day. You could do full body every day. You could do upper lower. It doesn't matter. You could do an Arnold split. As long as your intensity and nutrition's on point, split really is irrelevant. Anything you want to add, co-founder?
Yeah, I agree. I think you can do any split. Obviously, when you start getting into those crazy splits, like I'm not a huge fan of full body every day. I'm not a huge fan of upper lower. But any split, like
even if you did full body every day and upper lower,
100%. If you train volume, if you know how to tailor volume and intensity, it can 100% be done, and it must be effective, surely.
Yeah. Every split works, guys. And the reason I do a bro split, and the reason I love it so much, and the reason it will always be my go-to traditional split is because you get to kill a singular muscle in a given day, then forget about it for a week, allow it to fully recover, then come back to it. And to be honest, if you train the muscle hard enough, you should need a full week of recovery. All right, next question is from 2142. Do you work harder when the gym huzz looks at you, or are you the final boss of lust? Also, how do I boost my estrogen and Riz levels naturally? I don't go to the gym for women. I'm only joking. Of course I do. Every man goes to the gym for women. Whether you're lying or telling, whether you know, a lot of guys say, "Oh, I go to the gym for myself." Every guy goes to the gym for women. I don't care. Not entirely, but every guy does it. Okay, so don't lie. I go to the gym
To an
for
extent, to an extent.
yeah, to an extent, but not your entire reason why you go, but to an extent, yeah, I go to the gym for women. And if a really fit girl's near me, but I train alone most of the time, but if a really fit girl's near me, of course it motivates you. It always will. And also, how do I boost my estrogen and Riz levels naturally? Sumo deadlift. If you want higher estrogen, do sumos. Do sumo deadlift.
And decline.
And decline
bets.
What would you say about women? What would you say about women, bro? Watching you. Do you think people go to the gym for women? Do you think it
I
helps?
don't know. I think you can be one of those guys who just goes chasing tail around the gym. I've never been one of those. Obviously, if there's a really cute girl around, then you're gonna look obviously, but it's not like you're not gonna just go there for the girls. You know, like there's no need to get better Riz. You can meet girls outside the gym. I don't think.
So you wouldn't just get your rod out in public?
Well, I would.
All right, next question is from... We're going to go quite quick today, boys, because we've got a load of questions. Next question is from Burj Khalifa 4107. Which one would you recommend, leg curl or stiff leg deadlift? Stiff leg deadlift all day. Destroys leg curl. The greatest mass builder for the posterior chain and hamstrings and glutes is the stiff leg dead. Do stiff legs if you want big hams. Next question is from Can't See Myself, rest day Q&A. How long is your bulk, by the way? And I'm assuming your cutting phase is longer than your bulk. Could be wrong. No, my bulks are normally longer than my cut. Cuts are quicker. It's a lot easier to lose fat than it is to build muscle. So I spend more time bulking than cutting. My bulk was 8 months. My cut will probably be 20 weeks or so, 5 to 6 months. All right, next question is from G for P God. Is it better? Is it better to train every muscle twice a week? Yes, training each muscle twice a week is generally better for muscle growth than once a week. Research shows that muscle protein synthesis peaks around 24 to 48 hours after training and then drops back to baseline. So if you train a muscle only once per week, you're missing out on potential growth opportunities. What's your thoughts on this? To be honest, bro, these scientific studies, I don't give a toss about. I couldn't care less what the science says. For me, if you look at some of the greatest natural physiques in the world, they do bro split and they've got a great physique. If you look at some great natural physiques in the world, they also do push-pull legs. They've got great physiques. That you could find any split on earth that an elite natural guy does, and he's got a great split. He's got a great physique from it. Split, guys, please, anyone watching this, stop focusing on split. Okay, whether it's double frequency or single frequency with more volume, they both work as long as you train hard. What would you say to that?
Yeah, I agree. I think the amount of times we've said this is unreal. Like people are so fixated on trying to find the most optimal way when they don't even hit their diet. It's like there's no optimal way, man.
Yeah.
Well, most optimal way is hitting your calories.
Exactly.
Diet is number one.
Do what works for you. What works for me may not work for you. I might feel like a bro split and get loads of gains from it. You might not. You might like push-pull legs more. All right, next question is from Mike N3777. I'm bulking and gaining about £1 a week. 1 week my strength went up on my Achilles, and the next week I regressed in strength and can't hit the same numbers. Getting frustrated. Is it normal or am I doing something wrong? Strength does not progress linearly, brother. Okay. Sometimes strength goes up a lot in a week, and sometimes strength doesn't. And that's not necessarily down to preparation. You might have a perfect week of nutrition, a perfect week of sleep, and then go in the gym and your lifts might go down. You don't always progress in strength. Strength is not linear. Some weeks there's just more there, some weeks there isn't. Okay? But if you're nailing the basics, the nutrition, the recovery, good sleep, good food, high protein, getting your carbs, making sure you're probably fueled for your sessions, more than likely you're going to get stronger week to week, especially if you're gaining weight. So I would look at your nutrition, look at your sleep, look at all the variables, baseline variables. What would you say?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, just making sure you're going up in weight, obviously. If not, bro, there's nothing much you can do really. Besides,
he's getting £1 a week, which is good. If you're getting £1 a week, bro, you should be gaining strength. All right, next question is from Goku Solace 07. Rest day question. Love your vids, bro, and I respect your hard work, but hating on anime, bro. Come on, man. Surely it can't be bad liking a series that's animated with amazing writing. It's definitely better than having an OF daughter. Bro, a lot of guys take my Instagram too seriously. When I make like a OnlyFans,
guys, that's rage bait. Come on, you guys know. You guys know that.
Yeah.
To one extent, nowadays you have to do a little bit of rage bait. You know, you
Yeah.
have to do a little bit of clickbait, and that is a little bit clickbaity.
Come on,
It's
guys.
not bad. It's not bad.
You're intelligent to understand the
Take it
algorithm.
personal,
Yeah,
guys.
you don't take it personal. I don't mind anime, bro. Listen, I'm not a huge fan of anime, but I don't mind it, bro. I don't think it's gay. I'm not against it in any kind of way. If you watch anime, good for you, bro. I got nothing against anime. You got to understand the algorithm. Sometimes I do those types of reels where that are a little bit more. I'm trying to rage bait. You know what I mean? Don't take it personal. A lot of people get really upset. Chill, guys. It's only a joke. All right. Next question is from Abdullah. I'm 15 years old, training over 1 year. My weight is 83 and 171 centimeters and 34% fat and 31 kg of muscles. How much calories should I start my cut and how much months should my cut be? Thanks a lot. Abdullah. Abdullah, bro, I'm not a genius, man. I'm not Elon Musk. Okay, I'm not, I'm not Albert Einstein. I'm not Edison or Newton. You're gonna have to give me more variables than just your weight, your weight, your weight and your height and how long you've been training.
AKA, bro, we need to work with you for a bit to give you an accurate answer.
You need to find your baseline calories, find your maintenance.
It's impossible to know your exact calories without tracking proper data for at least 2 weeks.
100% agree. What I would recommend doing, what the co-founder just said, track your calories for like 2 weeks, find a baseline, and then based off how your weight responds on a given caloric intake, either go up or down, and use that baseline week to really lead the direction of travel when it comes to your calories. But bro, you're going to have to give me more data than just your weight, height, and your body fat percentage. Right? There's more variables involved when it comes to metabolism than just that. But good question, bro. Just again, it's trial and error. There's no perfect way to do it. Trial and error is the best way to do it. Keep a food journal 2 weeks or track your calories for 2 weeks and then see how your weight responds. All right, next question is from Aluminium Garage. Rest AQ. Were you naturally skinny as a kid growing up before you started lifting or a larger guy naturally? Do you have any pictures of before you started lifting? Yeah, I'll put one on the screen right now. I was a skinny dude, bro. Very skinny, cross-country runner, long-distance runner, football player, skin and bone. I had a little bit of muscle. I started doing some S&C as like strength and conditioning for football. So I had a tiny bit of muscle, but I was pretty skinny and just a long-distance runner. I think I weighed like 59 kilos, 60 kilo, very, very light, 65. And I think I weighed like mid-60s.
You always had a bit of muscle too.
A tiny bit, bro, not much. Next question is from Jim Ratsop. How come you're so passionate about being natty? What does it mean for you? If you want to have longevity in this game, you've got to be natty. There's so many people that destroy their life over gear. Don't jump on gear. Stay natty for life. Have longevity. And the natural look is the most aesthetic look. It's the best way to look. It's the healthiest look. It's the most aesthetic look, and it gives you longevity. What would you say about that? Why are you so passionate about the natty way?
I mean, like, it's meant to be a sport, you know? It's meant to be something that you can do forever and that it should actually enhance your life, not destroy it. Steroids literally speed up your aging. It's like the moment you start taking steroids is the moment you start aging faster, you know? The moment you're closest to death.
Absolute facts. It destroys lives. It ruins lives. It destroys existences.
Why would you take a substance that's going to get you closer to death?
Exactly.
Why the fuck?
It destroys your hormones. It destroys the way your body functions. Don't do it. Don't do it, bro. Stay natty for life. Next question is from Shadow. What got you in the gym, and would you ever do a natty show? I love the channel, bro. What got me in the gym? I just looked at my life and I thought, I
got him into the gym.
He helped me get in the gym. If it wasn't for this guy, I wouldn't be in the gym. He helped me. There was a darkness in me, a kind of depression. A lot of people had the similar thoughts. I won't go into exactly how dark the thoughts were because this video will be like an hour long. But there was a darkness. There was around the age of 18. I had some really bad thoughts and I was down. I was beaten. I thought, what's the quickest way to improve my life? I'm going to dedicate myself to the pursuit of physical fitness, get better, improve. But there was a darkness. There was an anger, and I won't say exactly what that was, but that motivated me and gave me the hunger at a young age drove me on. What would you say motivated you, bro?
I don't know. I was kind of cooking it for a while. Like I always wanted it since I was like 14. I wanted to go gym, and I finally stuck. And yeah, I just go. It's fun. It's fun. It's a fun activity. Taking pre-workout is fun.
Yeah.
You enjoy yourself.
If you don't go gym, you're gay.
Like, what?
If you don't go gym, you're gay.
Basically.
And you know what? You don't even have to go gym. If you're a human being and you don't do physical exercise of some sort,
then you're gay.
Yeah, like, bro, even like triathletes, as much as I hate on cardio and like Iron Man and I joke around with that kind of stuff, I respect those dudes because at least they're pushing themselves.
For preparation and injuries.
Exactly. Yeah. Animals, some of those Iron Man dudes. Respect. All right, next question is from Dis NASCAR. What squat shoes do you wear and are they worth it? Are they the Nike Romaleos? Nike Romaleos. Which ones do you wear? The Adidas.
I wear some cheap Adidas. $100, 100% worth it.
Yeah.
I really like them. I wouldn't change them for anything.
I wear Nike Romaleos all black. I'd give them a shot. Look them up. Good. It's about 200 quid. Nothing crazy.
Worth it.
Yeah, worth it. Next question is from London 2N5. Rest day question. Would you use a bro split? Only asking because science specialists talk about up, and would you recommend... Okay, we answered the first question already because this is the second time you're asking this. We answered the first part. Also, would you recommend dirty bulking, still eating clean but a larger surplus, or lean bulking or clean foods, 300 to 400 cal surplus? It depends on your style. Like, I push the box hard. I push the box crazy hard. But most people don't have my discipline. So if they were to get that big, they wouldn't be able to come down. I'm nuts. I can do that because I can get away with doing that. And it works for me, and I've done it historically. But for most people, do as I say, but don't do as I do. I would actually recommend doing a lean bulking approach. I would recommend being in a 500 calorie surplus, monitoring your fat gain, and being very cautious with the rate of gain, gaining at most half a kilo a week. A pound or half a kilo at most a week. What would you say?
Yeah, 100%. When it comes down to bulking, I think you got to be really conscious about how much are you able to lose after you finish the bulk, because a lot of people just go into a bulk, gain like 30 kg and they can't even lose it. So to be fat forever. So if you're somebody who can actually lose weight and has the work ethic to do it, because a lot of people don't have the work ethic to shut their mouth, then you can do dirty bulk. You can gain a lot of weight, gain a lot of strength. That's always going to be bang for your buck. You're always going to make the most gains with that method, and then you can do a nice cut. If you're somebody who struggles to lose weight, then keep it lean, and then because it's not going to be that.
I can get away with doing a bulk, like a heavy bulk. Most people can't. If you have my discipline and you know you can commit to it, then do it. For most people, I wouldn't recommend doing that. It's too risky. All right, final question is from Connor Robson. Do you believe that Mike O'Hearn has never taken any steroids in his life and has been fully natty his whole life? Yes, I do. The co-founder is going to disagree with me on this. Okay.
I don't know. He does Botox, man.
He's going to disagree with me on this, but yeah, I would bet everything that Mike O'Hearn's natty. You can tell by by the way his muscle's very athletic, natural looking. You look at a lot of guys that run gear. Their muscle is very balloony and artificial. Mike's muscle doesn't look like that. And look at Mike when he was 20. Look at Mike when he was 15. At 15 years old, Mike O'Hearn was 6'2", 6'3", at 250. At 15 years old, this guy was already a monster. At 15, he was bigger than 99.9% of men. He's a genetic freak. Elite genetics combined with the greatest work ethic in the history of lifting. No man has ever been more committed than O'Hearn. He hasn't missed a meal in 40 years. He hasn't missed a training session in 40 years. Mike O'Hearn doesn't make mistakes. He doesn't mess up. He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. He's lived his life in complete perfection when it comes to his work ethic for 4 decades.
Really believe that?
For 4 decades, he's never made a mistake. And then you combine a godlike work ethic with godlike genetics, you get an O'Hearn. A one in a century type talent. A one in a century type talent. Elite work ethic combined with the greatest talent ever. Greatest work ethic of all time, most gifted of all time. What would you say?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I haven't looked into him that much, really.
I think O'Hearn's natty.
I'm not a huge fan. I don't mind. If you believe that, then yeah, it might be true. Yeah. You have a good natty eye. Not as good as mine, but you have a decent natty eye.
But yeah, I believe O'Hearn's natural. I do. I really do. Nick Huchalsi, the founder of the Menddees Cartel, the Natty King, the last true Natty Crusader, the one true heir to O'Hearn's Natty throne, the president of the Natty Republic, El Presidente, here with the
co-founder, boys, El Presidente.
And as always, gentlemen, long live King Charles III. Wait, my bad. Subscribe to this channel, follow me on Instagram and TikTok, join the Menddees Cartel, link in the description. If you're interested in one-to-one coaching, go to my Instagram and DM me the word cartel. And as always, gentlemen, long live King Charles III and God bless Sir Winston Churchill.